Good evening, my friends. There is a quiet but powerful question at the center of why so many people never fully step into the life they are capable of living. It's simple, yet deeply confronting. Who are you when no one has confirmed it yet? Who are you before the money shows up, before the relationship begins, before the promotion arrives, before your health improves, before the outer world reflects the life you feel you're meant to live? Who are you in that space of waiting? Because here is the truth most people avoid facing, and the moment you truly face it, everything begins to change. Most people wait for evidence before they allow themselves to become. They wait for results before stepping into identity. They wait for proof before embodying the state. And that wait, as natural and human as it seems, is exactly what keeps them stuck. So tonight we remove that weight entirely. Let's look at how most people approach becoming. The common belief is simple. You work hard, gain experience, build credentials, create a track record, earn recognition, gather proof, and only then are you allowed to see yourself differently. You call yourself successful after success is visible. You feel abundant after money is measurable. You believe you're loved after it is consistently shown. It sounds reasonable. It feels grounded. It appears realistic. But in truth, it reverses the order of creation. It places the effect before the cause. It's like standing in front of a mirror, waiting for the reflection to smile before you do. That's not how it works. It has never worked that way. The reflection follows the face. The outer world follows the inner state. Evidence follows being, always. Become first, and the evidence will follow. Now let's address the real obstacle. It's not lack of knowledge. Many people understand this concept intellectually. They know the inner world creates the outer. They can explain it clearly. But when it comes time to actually live as that person before evidence appears, something blocks them. That feeling has a name. It's the feeling of being a fraud. The voice that says, I can't be that yet. I haven't earned it. I haven't proven it. Who am I to act like that person when nothing around me confirms it? That voice feels real, but it isn't truth. It's conditioning. It's the result of a lifetime of being taught to wait for permission. From results, from people, from circumstances. But identity does not come from permission. Identity comes from decision. And here is the deeper truth. In every real transformation, in every field of life, the person became it internally before the world showed any proof. That feeling of fraudulence is not a warning. It's a threshold. It's the moment you stand between your current self and a greater version of yourself. That discomfort is not telling you to stop. It's telling you that you're close. So step through it. Now understand this clearly. Becoming is not pretending. It's not acting. It's not forcing confidence or repeating words you don't believe. It's something deeper. It's identity. Your identity is not fixed. It's not defined by your past, your failures, your background, or your circumstances. It's a story you've accepted, and stories can be changed. Right now, you carry a story about who you are. That story influences how you walk, how you speak, what you believe is possible, and what you allow yourself to receive. But that story is not you. It's simply what you've believed about yourself. And you can choose a different story. Becoming is the decision to adopt a new identity, not because the world proved it, but because you decided it's true, because you felt it inwardly, because you've lived it in your imagination until it feels natural. Not, I am trying to become this. But I am this. That is the shift. Imagine a man, nothing extraordinary about his current life, no obvious signs of success, but internally something has changed. He has made a quiet decision about who he is, not who he hopes to be, not who he's working toward, who he is right now. And because of that decision, everything about him subtly shifts. The way he carries himself, the way he speaks, the way he interacts. There's no need to prove anything. No need to seek approval. He's settled in himself. And the world responds. Opportunities appear, conversations change, doors open, people are drawn to him, not because he performed long enough, but because he became. The world reflects what he embodies. That is how evidence arrives. It follows identity. So how do you actually do this? It begins with one question. How does that version of you feel? Not what does he have, not what has he achieved. How does he feel in ordinary moments? Because identity is not built on external results, it's built on internal experience. The man who is financially free doesn't feel constant excitement. He feels ease. The man who is loved doesn't feel constant intensity, he feels secure. The man who leads doesn't perform confidence, he is naturally grounded. Find that feeling and begin to live from it in small ways. In how you walk, how you speak, how you respond, how you carry yourself throughout the day. Not dramatically, quietly, consistently. And the world will begin to adjust. Now, many people ask, is this honest? Is it right to act as someone you are not yet? The answer is simple. You are not being dishonest. You are living from a deeper truth. Your current circumstances are only a reflection of past states. They are not your final definition. You are choosing to live from the cause, not the effect. And that is the most honest way to live. Here's something that changes everything. The version of you that you want to become already exists, not in the future, but now, as a real state of consciousness. You're not creating it, you're stepping into it. And this shift doesn't happen through effort, it happens through assumption, through the decision to be it now. Morning is where this becomes powerful. Most people wake up and immediately look at the outside world, their phone, their problems, their circumstances, and within minutes, their identity is set by the past again. Instead, take those first moments for yourself. Ask, who am I choosing to be today? Feel it, let it settle, then move into your day from that identity. Do this daily, gently, consistently, and everything begins to change. There will be moments when it feels impossible, when reality seems too strong, when the old voice says, look at the evidence. That's the old identity trying to survive. In that moment, don't fight, just choose again. Return to your chosen identity again and again. Every return strengthens it. Over time, something shifts. You become calmer, more certain, less reactive. You stop chasing and start moving with clarity. And people notice, not because you try, but because you are different. That is the power of identity. So take this with you. You do not need permission. You do not need proof. You need a decision. Decide who you are and be it. Because the world is always responding to who you believe yourself to be. Become first. The evidence will follow. Now let's go deeper, because this is where the real transformation begins to take hold. At first, this shift in identity feels unnatural, not because it's wrong, but because it's unfamiliar. You've spent years, maybe your entire life, defining yourself based on what you see, what you've experienced, and what others have reflected back to you. So when you choose to step into something greater before the evidence appears, it can feel like you're stepping into uncertainty. But that uncertainty is not a sign you're off track. It's a sign you're moving beyond your old limits. The mind will try to pull you back. It will remind you of your past. It will point to your current circumstances. It will question your decision, not because it's protecting you, but because it's protecting what it already knows. The familiar always feels safe, even when it keeps you small. So the real work is not forcing yourself to believe something overnight. The real work is consistency. It's returning again and again to the identity you've chosen until it no longer feels new, until it feels natural, until it becomes your default. And this doesn't happen through pressure. It happens through repetition of being. Think about it. Every identity you currently hold was built the same way, not in one moment, but through repeated thoughts, repeated reactions, repeated emotional patterns. Over time, those repetitions formed a belief, and that belief became your identity. Now you are simply doing it consciously. You are choosing what to repeat. You are choosing what to feel. You are choosing who you are. And as you continue, something subtle begins to shift inside you. You start to trust yourself more. Not because everything outside has changed yet, but because something inside has stabilized. There is less internal conflict, less second guessing, less need for validation. You begin to move differently. You stop asking, am I allowed to want this? You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And instead, you begin to operate from a quiet certainty. Not loud, not forced, just steady. And from that steadiness, your actions change. You take steps you would have avoided before. You speak in ways you would have hesitated to. You show up with a presence that doesn't need approval. And those small changes begin to create visible results. Not all at once, but gradually. Then suddenly, because the outer world doesn't respond to what you say you want, it responds to who you consistently are. This is why patience matters. Not passive waiting, but grounded persistence. The kind that continues without needing constant reassurance. Because once you truly understand this, you stop looking for signs every day. You stop checking if it's working. You stop measuring progress through immediate results. You know it's working because you've changed. And that is the only